you mute yourself and turn off your camera so you're not part of the presentation unless you don't mind. But we will be recording. And lastly, before we get started, once again, please, if you do not know how to change your name on your participant list on your screen, please message me so I can switch it to your full name so you get credit for this, for attending this recruitment today. All right, so I want to introduce Jessica Gettings. She is with RHA, and she will be doing the presentation today. She has a number of great positions available, so please pay attention, and I will turn it over to Jessica. Thank you, Jessica.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica, and I represent Richard Heath and Associates, also known as RHA. And I'm just going to talk about, we have quite a few positions available right now, and I'm just going to talk about those positions as well as what we do as an organization. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to give you a quick rundown about the company, and then I'm going to share a PowerPoint to show you the different positions available. So RHA is a contractor of San Diego Gas and Electric, and we run the ESA program, which is the Energy Savings Assistance Program. This is a state mandated program, and it's paid for actually by all of us who are SDG&E customers. So if you're an SDG&E customer, when you get your monthly bill, there's a line and it says PPP, which stands for Public Purpose Program, and a percentage of your bill goes to that line. And that is what covers the cost to everything we do. And what we do is we go into homes of those who qualify based on income, and we do upgrades to the home at no cost to the homeowner or resident. So qualification is based on income and the number of people who live in the home. So we might go in and switch out light bulbs or add lamps or power strips, faucet aerators, anything to help make the home more energy efficient to lower the overall use of energy, as well as save on the electric bill. We do large appliances too. So sometimes we'll contract out for refrigerators or dryers. And then right now we're taking on a program since there's a lot of rolling blackouts. Some people have to be on, generated oxygen and can't go that long without electricity. So one of the programs we're taking on now, which is going to be some of these positions I present, is delivering portable batteries or like generators for those who qualify as well. So this is kind of a state mandated program that the energy companies throughout California have to do. So in San Diego, we work with SDG&E. As an organization, though, we do have an office in Los Angeles, Fresno, Chico, and then San Diego. And we have been a company for, we're going on to our 41st year. Last year was our 40th year. So we have been around a really long time. Sometimes it feels like a startup because we're taking on different programs all the time, but we're a very established organization. We've had a lot of our employees work here for a very long time, which is always very exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into some of the videos. And like Del said, I will definitely answer any of the questions at the end. I'll try to be as specific as I can as I go, but you guys always have really great questions. So let me start this here. So right now we have 4 positions available. 2 of them are temp to hires. So they do say temporary. There is a possibility, though, that the position gets extended and or once this position ends to be in a very similar position within the same, like in the call center, but just not working with the battery program, working with the ESA program. So there is the option to stay longer. So they're mostly temps to hire. So don't let that temporary discourage you. We just like to be very honest about it. The position might change a little bit if you do decide, if we do both decide, to keep going permanently and full time. So the first position that I'm going to talk about is a call center representative position. It is a temporary position. I'm going to go into more detail into each of these. We have our community outreach specialist position. We also have a remote community outreach specialist position for those who really need to work at home right now because of childcare or whatever that might be. And then we have our warehouse assistant position. So Our call center representative position, like I said, it is a temp to hire position. This really doesn't, the requirements are, we are looking for somebody who has a year of experience within an office environment. Does not have to be call center. If you don't, you can still throw your hat in the ring. It is something that we look for, but we also, Spanish speaking is also very much preferred, because we do work with a lot of Spanish speakers. And for this position, we do run a background check. So this position will work on different programs like Excel. We have a program of our own that we would train you in as well. And you would be doing a lot of outbound calls. So this position specifically, you'll have a list of people, you're going to call them, and you're going to set up appointments for us to deliver a generator to them. And so that's basically the position. It's going to be full-time. It does have the company benefits while you are here full-time. So it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Your schedule would be determined between you and the hiring manager. We are fully working from home right now. However, there is a possibility that you'll have to go into the office once or twice a week coming into the future. Right now, there's nothing set. We're all working from home. It's going very well. If we do open back up, it would most likely not be Monday through Friday in the office. So just, worst case scenario, I'd plan 1 or 2 weeks in the office, but for right now, it's fully remote at home. And as far as we know, it's staying that way. We would have notice before we were to go back into the office. And when we are in the office, we're on like a rotating schedule. So there's not a lot of people in the office at once. This position pays $15 an hour, and it does have the company health benefits and dental, which we pay for. You do not have to pay into. It's 100% covered for the employee, and you can add dependents or spouses for a fee. And then we also have supplementary plans that you can add to. And like I said, there is an option to go to a permanent position as well if you were to start in this temp position. The community outreach specialist. This is a very unique position, and some people love it, and it's not for everyone. So just to start off the bat, it is a canvassing position. You get a list of addresses and you are cold knocking on people's doors. You're educating them on the program. You're talking to them about what it entails and enrolling them. And then you would also be doing the measures where you go into the home and change out the light bulbs and all those things. So this position does require you to have a driver's license, a vehicle, and driving insurance. And you have to do a background check and a drug screening for this position. And that's because with this position, you have to have a contractor's license, which we provide for you. We pay the cost for it. We get you all set up. We train you, but they do require the background and the drug screening. So it is small measure installation. So if somebody did enroll in the program, you would go in and switch out light bulbs, maybe install a power strip. The biggest thing that this position installs is the lamp. With that being said, this position is a salary base of $33,280, and then you get monthly incentives. So the more homes that enroll, the more money you can make each month. It has a potential to make a lot of money. Our community outreach specialists who have been here for a long time, who are hustlers, do very well in this position. If you're not, right off the bat being able to get as many homes enrolled, you always have that base salary. So that's kind of nice that it's not like you eat or you don't eat. There's always that base salary there. Right now, we are offering a $1,500 stay bonus. So after the first 3 months being in this position, you would get $750. And then after 6 months, you would get another $100 or $750. And that's just on top of the incentives and the salary. We do offer the paid benefits as well in this position. There's 10 paid holidays throughout the year. We offer sick leave, and we also offer paid vacation. And we do have a 401k option as well for this position. With COVID, I do want to just point out, everyone's going in with masks. They require, people to be in masks when they're in the home, hand sanitizer, wipes, gloves, and we're providing all of that. And we have been open and canvassing now since, I feel like it's since June, and we have not had a case where anyone's gotten it from in the workplace in any means. So we have not had any employee come back who has contracted COVID from being in a home or being in the office. We are taking all of the measures that need to be taken, and it's really great that we haven't had that because it shows that what we're doing is working. We do daily health screenings. We ask you to screen people too before you go into the home. And right now we're getting a lot of enrollments because people are home. So our community outreach specialists are doing great and making a lot of money because people are at home right now, so they're able to enroll people. So it's really just about how safe you feel, but I do want to make sure that you guys know we are taking a lot of those precautions and we have not had any issues so far. And it is considered essential because it has to do with electricity in people's homes and their reach to be able to have that source of electricity and energy and things in their house. We also have the same position kind of, but remote. So instead of cold knocking, you would be cold calling. And instead of doing the installations, if you got somebody to enroll over the phone, you would schedule an appointment for somebody else to go and do the installation. So if you really like this position, but you're not comfortable going into the home, this is also another option. This position is also, it's remote. Right now it's work from home every day. However, it will definitely require you to come into the office during some training times, maybe once a week, once we go back to being in the office once or twice a week. We don't really know what that looks like yet. But you would get a list, you would call the customers, you'd educate them on the program, see if they would enroll, and then schedule an appointment for somebody to go out and finish the enrollment. This position does pay less because you're not, hitting the pavement and door knocking. So it is $14.50. However, there is still that option for incentive. So if you're getting people to enroll, you still have that potential to make that extra money each month. It also has all the same benefits, and it is a permanent position. This is not a temporary position. So you will get the paid holidays, the health insurance, 401k, and all those options as well, sick leave, vacation time. This position will be 40 hours a week, roughly Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. It really just varies between you and the hiring manager. We're always closed on Sundays. Sometimes they work Saturdays. We haven't had to recently, but never Sundays. And so it will really depend on you and the hiring manager and what you guys work out as far as schedule. Okay, and then lastly, we have a warehouse assistant. So this position is in our warehouse. We're actually hiring 3 people for this position. It does require you to have a driver's license and insurance. You have to do the background check and drug screening and have a clean driving record. And that's because this position, you would come into the warehouse in the morning, you would drive one of our company vans. We would load it up with all the batteries, and you would go around and deliver them. You'd have appointments and addresses of where to go to deliver these batteries, and you're dropping them off. You're not installing them, and you're not going into the home. You're kind of just like meeting them out front and telling them, here's your battery. This is how you're giving them a quick little demo, and then going to the next appointment. So this position is $16 an hour. It is a temp to hire position. So it is not currently a permanent position. And while you are in the role, you would receive the benefits and any holidays that occur as well. So I'm just going to go over. So those are all the positions. Sorry, it was a lot of talking, but I do just want to go over some of the precautions we're taking when we are in the office as well. We do require daily health screenings. We do masks. We frequently clean. We get it sanitized actually every single night as well, but during the day, people will come through and wipe down all the handles and common areas. We have a minimum of how many people can be in an area at a time. So like 1 person in the break area, 2 people in the conference room, 1 person at your desk, things like that. So we're really minimizing any kind of risk. Everything is 6 feet apart. We have markings on the ground. So if somebody's at the copier, like you can't, come any closer than this to just kind of really keep everyone separated. And we have a very little amount of people in the office at a time. So I think when I go into the office every now and then, there's 2 other people there, and it's a large office. So we are also taking those precautions and will continue to do so as well. If you are interested in any of these positions, this is our website. So I'm going to keep this up so you guys can write it down, and I will just go ahead and I think take questions at this point, if there are any. See if I don't think I can see the chat.
Del Marin, do I have to write my name?
No, you're good. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm going through the chats right now, Jessica, to see if there's any questions. One thing I do want to ask is, in terms of interviews, how are the interviews being handled right now? Are they virtual? Are they in person?
They are virtual. All of
Oh,
our
okay.
interviews right now are virtual. And so if it is something you guys apply to, basically what the application process looks like is, sorry, it looks like I lost my screen there, is I would give you guys a call. We do a quick phone screen, just talk a little bit about the position, make sure you have a good understanding on it. And then from there, we would go into schedule a virtual time. So we do it through Microsoft Teams. You don't have to download anything. It's just through a browser. And you would meet with myself and the hiring manager. It is virtual, but we do ask for you to turn on the camera. It's probably about a 30-minute interview, and then we go from there.
Okay, perfect. There's another question coming in. I guess they want a little bit more information on the remote positions.
Okay,
How many
great.
there are, how do they apply, that sort of thing.
So right now, all of our positions, except for the warehouse and the ROS position, are remote. So the call center position is for the GGP, for our battery program, which is the GGP program, grant generator program. And that is remote, where you would be at home and you'd be calling to schedule appointments to deliver the battery. Now, the other remote position is our community outreach specialist remote, which is you would be doing outbound calls as well, but you would be enrolling them into the program, talking to them about the program, seeing if they're interested in scheduling an appointment for somebody to go out and do an assessment. So both of those are fully working from home at the moment.
Okay.
Like I said, in time, there will be, if we can get back to work life one day, it may be required to come in once a week or once a month to check in with your supervisor or grab equipment or have a team meeting, things like that. But for the most part right now, these are fully remote.
Okay. There's another question coming in. Are there part-time remote positions?
Right now, I do not have any part-time positions, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. Get
They're
more
all
hours,
full-time
more
and they
money.
all have benefits. So they're great positions, which I'm really excited about because it's rare that we have this many open at one time.
Awesome. Another question is, I guess they wanted to know where the office is located.
Yeah, that's a great question. So our office is in Kearney Mesa. So we're off of Balboa between the 163 and the 15.
Okay, perfect. And I'm assuming this link right here that you have up right now is how they apply, correct?
Yes. So if you guys are interested, all the positions are listed on our website, which is this link, rhainc.com/careers, or you can go to the website and there'll be a link to get to the career page as well.
Awesome. We got a bunch of questions coming in now. Does the canvassing position require your own vehicle? And if so, is mileage compensated?
Yes and yes. So it does require your own vehicle, and we do compensate for mileage. There you get an iPad, a phone. You could use your own phone and get reimbursed, or you can take a company phone. Most people prefer their own phone. And you have an iPad as well. And so they kind of can track your mileage as well. And then you get some, a reimbursement for that every month. So you submit it all and then you get reimbursed. We also reimburse for like water because in the summer it gets really hot and you're out in the field. So yes.
Awesome. Another question. Are all positions daytime? Also, does the company provide the system or pay for internet?
We provide the system. We do not pay for internet, but we do provide training and we provide any software that you may need. We would provide you with a computer. So we'll honestly, right now we're mailing computers to people, or like my webcam went down, they had to mail me a new webcam. So we're sending all the material, all the electronics material that you would need to do the job. We don't reimburse for internet right now. We do reimburse for cell phone usage. So that might kind of be bundled under one. And so, yeah, I think, was that the whole question?
The other one was, they're all daytime positions, correct?
Yes, they are all daytime positions.
Okay. Next question. How long is the application process? When is the cutoff date for remote positions?
So we don't have a cutoff date. Basically it's kind of like we'll get our applicants. Once we have some applicants, we start interviewing and then we pick our top 2 or 3, just depending on the position. So there's not a cutoff date. I would just say apply as soon as you know that you are interested in the position. Probably takes like from when you submit to the interview to getting the position a week and a half. Once I
Wow,
get the
that's a quick
application,
turnaround.
I usually call and try to schedule an interview. So let's say tomorrow I got an application, I'd try to call you tomorrow or Thursday. We'd schedule an interview for next week, and then we like to let you know like within the next day or two, because then we have to run a background check. So from there, we would schedule a start date. And we're flexible. So if you have like a job that you need to give 2 weeks notice to, or you got to find childcare, you don't have to start the start date like the next day. You can say, I need a week or I need 2 weeks, and that's totally okay with us.
Cool. Awesome. Also, how long is the training, and is the training remote or is it at the office?
So the warehouse training and the community outreach specialist training will be at the office because you're going to be working out of the office. The rest of them and it'll be like you and the supervisor doing the training in the office. The rest of them will be remote. The training varies depending on the position, as well as how quickly, sometimes you catch on really quickly to the first 2 parts, and the third part, you're like, hey, I'm just needing a little more time. Then we'll give you more time for that. So it's not tailored like everybody has to learn it at this speed. It's tailored to your individual strengths. And so sometimes it might go quicker and sometimes it might go slower. And, throughout too, we're always just training employees, like anytime they have a question or if they're struggling or whatever it may be, we try really hard to invest into the employees and making sure they're successful. So I would say training's like 2 to 3 weeks vaguely, and you're paid the whole time, but it could go longer, it could be shorter.
All right, here's another good question. Is it a panel interview?
So typically it's me and the hiring manager. So it's just the 2 of us and you.
Okay, and like you said, it usually takes within 2 or 3 days to inform them whether or not they were selected, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And if it were to take longer, I tell them, like, I will let them know in the interview, like, we'll know tomorrow, or we have more interviews tomorrow, so we won't know till 2 days.
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. And do you have any part-time work, or is everything full-time?
So right now, everything's full-time. However, we do sometimes offer part-time. So my biggest suggestion would be like, just to check out the website every now and then. But as of right now, we're looking for all full-time.
Awesome. Thank you.
Which is funny because last time we needed part-time and everybody wanted full-time.
Funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Here's another good question. What's the hours for the work for the remote positions?
I would say about 8 to 5 with an hour break. It could vary. It could be 8:30 to 5:30, or typically everyone starts around 8 and they don't work later than 5, and they take a half hour to an hour lunch break. And it's really up to the hiring manager, because like in the call center, they stagger the breaks. So it's just kind of going to depend how they have the schedule set up.
Okay. And that's
but if
usually
you're
worked
like,
out
I need to be off at 5, that's something to bring to the interview, you guys. If you decide to apply and you're in the interview with the hiring manager, you can say like, I have to be somewhere by 5:30, so I need to be off by 5. And they could say, okay, we can make that work, or we can't, so it's definitely something to bring to the table, because typically they're pretty flexible about it.
And the canvassing door-to-door hours are the same?
No, so the canvassing door-to-door hours, you have a lot of flexibility there. It's really like up to you and at your discretion. It requires 40 hours a week, but if you want to start at 10 and work till 6, you can do that. Maybe you started at 8 or 9 and you went till noon and you had a doctor's appointment, or you wanted to pick up the kids or something, and then you come back at 3 and finish your day. That's up to you. You're out in the field. I have found that if you are producing, meaning like you're getting at least 3 enrollments a day, the hiring managers are like, hey, you're doing what you need to do. You're getting it done. Go for it. Like, do what you need to do. If you're not producing though, and they're like, hey, you're taking these long breaks and you're not getting your numbers, that's kind of when they intervene.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of getting that 8 hours done
Correct.
within the day. Okay.
Yeah, and one day, Monday, you might have worked 10 hours. So now Friday, you're like, hey, I'm going to only work 6 hours.
Yeah.
And that's okay because you're a salary exempt position. So it does require a lot of like time management on your end and project management on your end to know what you're capable of doing in what amount of time. And sometimes it takes a few months to get into that groove, and that's okay. We understand that. But you do have more flexibility in that position. And that's one of the reasons a lot of these employees like this position.
Yeah. A lot of flexibility, a lot of freedoms.
Yes.
Also, there's one client in here that applied yesterday and wants to know if the application had been received. Or how will they know the application's been received? Do they get like an email or?
They should get an email confirmation. What is the name? Who asked?
Adrian Wittenberg.
And do you know what position?
Adrian, you can go ahead and unmute yourself if you want. And let her know what position you applied for.
Yeah, that's for customer service, but now that I hear about the warehouse position, I'm interested in that one more because
Yeah.
I agree that being out and about is what I kind of need right now. I don't want to be in the house too long.
I think we all want that.
Yeah. I just think that would be more fun, actually.
Yeah.
The custom or the warehouse position, in my opinion, is a great option. One, because you're driving the company vehicle. I love our warehouse team. We have 2 Gabriels actually who work in our warehouse, and they're both phenomenal people to work with. And they just kind of like get the job done. You know, it's like you come, you get your stuff, you're out and about, you get time with people, but you're not like surrounded with people all the time. So it's a good balance. I feel like it's that good medium of being out of the house and like still having some interaction with other people in the world.
Exactly. I applied for customer service, and now I mean, even if I did receive a confirmation, I would like to apply for that one. I don't know how that would be possible. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. And your last name was Wittenberg?
Yeah, Wittenberg.
Okay, great. So I'll probably give you a call tomorrow and I can move your application to the other position. You do not have to refill it out.
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Another one, they're asking about Indeed. Do you use Indeed? Or should it just go directly to your website?
We do use Indeed. However, Indeed does not give as much information and you always have to apply through the website. So if you send an application through Indeed, you'll have to go back in and fill out the application through our website just for liability reasons. We have to have all that information. And we have to have you like signing off saying this information is true and correct, where we don't get that from Indeed, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we get applications through Indeed. We do use Indeed. But if you want to speed to the front of the line, apply directly to our website is the most efficient way to do it.
And just to clarify, there's a question about the non-remote positions are typically 8 to 5.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, I'm scrolling through.
But again, if you needed like, 8:30 to 5 or 9 to 5:30 with just a half-hour lunch break instead of the hour, you could talk to the supervisor about that. They're pretty good.
Awesome. Also, you mentioned the generators. Are those, is there a weight requirement in order for them to, a certain amount of weight that they'll need to lift? Or is there like a dolly you guys use?
I think we do a dolly and stuff. I have not seen them, but from my understanding, I don't think they're very large. But I would say, in most of our job descriptions, it's be able to lift 50 pounds. But I don't even think they're that heavy. I can't say for sure though. But I would say 50 pounds or less. And yes, we would provide any equipment that they need to like get them in and out of the truck and stuff.
Okay. It looks like,
I mean, they're like portable batteries, so I think they're pretty small.
Oh, okay.
But I just don't want to give any false promises. I don't think you're going to be lifting like 50-pound boxes a day, I guess is my point is, and we would have 2 people doing that and we would have all the equipment that you needed because we like to avoid any kind of work injuries at all costs.
Awesome. So it looks like we've gotten through all of the questions. Does anybody have any other questions or comments? I do have one request. There is one client that logged on late that only has their first name posted. I need your last name in order for you to get credit for the workshop. So Annie, if you can message me your last name or change it on the screen, I'll be able to fix it for you. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. Also, if you guys do apply for a position, please let me or your workforce readiness specialist know so we can reach out to Jessica directly and let her know, hey, Johnsy applied for this position. Just want to let you know she's with us. So we can hopefully bump you to the front of the line.
It definitely helps, you guys. So do email, like Dell just requested. We have gotten great applicants working with Dell and the organization before. It's a great partnership, and it is very easy for me to not recognize that you were in today on this call. So definitely send an email, because then they can give me an email and we know exactly, you know, it does help. So just take that extra few minutes to do that if you can, if you guys decide to apply.
All right, any last questions or comments? This is your last chance. Well, I will say, if you have any.
I want to apply. Can you put the link for the application in the chat, or
Sure.
do I contact my Sylvia?
She's gonna put it in the chat right now. So you can click on it as soon as Jessica puts it in the chat, you'll be able to. And you know what, I'll put my email address in here as well,
Okay.
just so if anybody has any questions and doesn't have my email address, they can email me directly as well.
How do I schedule appointment with Miss Sylvia?
Call her.
Do I
Call her,
email her?
Call her or email her, yes.
Okay. Thank you. I love the presentation.
Oh, you know what? I just realized mine did not go to everyone. It went privately to one person. So I'm going to resend that link.
Okay.
Okay. So
Got it.
hopefully you got it.
Yes, it's in there.
Okay.
So it's rhainc.com/careers.
Correct.
Okay, so if you guys, one last question, how long is the interview?
About 30 minutes, maybe 45. It really just depends on how talkative the candidate is.
Cool. All right, well, I want to respect Jessica's time. So thank you guys so much for attending. Jessica, once again, thank you so much for your partnership. So glad to work with you. And if you guys have, once we log off, which always happens, you're gonna have questions that you want to ask, go ahead and shoot me an email directly or your workforce readiness specialist directly, and we'll do the best we can to get that answer for you.
Thank you so much, Del. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing your applications.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good rest of your week.